And we are going to go straight into this now, ladies and gentlemen. 5 red lights here in Baku for the 5th round of ACRL season number 7. And we are away. Looks like a pretty tentative start for most of the field. Crush getting a good one there at the back as Formula Cringe holds the lead into turn number 1. And it looks like he's going to be followed by Destiel, Echo, Maxim Cube, and Silver Arrow making up a place as well on Dorshui, as the cars is trying to navigate the spray as they make their way through this section of track. Ekem actually getting tangled up there at turn 2, dropping down 5, make that 6 places off the start. But a little bit of a slide there for our race leader, Formula Cringe. He's already coming under a lot of pressure from Destiel, and there's a bit of carnage going on behind them, almost 4 wide going. We see Crush into the wall there. Combat Rat making up, losing a spot off the grid actually. But most of the cars are staying pretty much where they are. The 2 Williams cars actually having a great start, both up 3 places at the moment, but it's a little bit of a procession as they make their way through the middle sector of the lap. And it's Formula Cringe, Destiel, and Silver Arrow well and clear from the field, and Magnuson Cube in the second Haas car acting as a bit of a bottleneck at the moment on these intermediate tyres. We go to the rear view there. We actually see a massive crash there. Looks like Doshu has been taken out by Ekem going into the wall. Or at least something happened between those two. I won't point fingers because I didn't get a good look at it, but definitely something happened between those two. As Destiel and Formula Cringe going side by side into it, and some very hard racing there from the Red Bull trying to keep the lead of the race. And Silver Arrow is going to capitalize on that, making his way past the Haas of Destiel. And even though coming under a little bit of pressure from the Haas behind, is able to just about hang on to the position as a yellow flag. It's like Combat Rat having a bit of trouble with the turn 2 braking zone. And Destiel clean around the outside as well of the Williams car. Very nice move indeed from the Singaporean driver. Strong pace from the Red Bull. And we'll see if they are able to maintain this gap moving forward. Dorshui retiring from the session as well. And that is a full safety car now. Now, where has he gone and done that? I don't know if it'll be able to show us. Jump on board with Crush for the time being and see if we can get any kind of idea. It looks like it might actually be into the pit lane, I think. So we won't be able to get a good view of that, but that has brought out the full safety car. He's able to go whenever he feels like it. Very tentative on the start. You can hear the revs going up a little bit. He's speeding up a little bit. He's actually hit the Haas of Destiel. I don't know what's going on there. That's given himself a 5-second time penalty, so he's absolutely butchered that restart. I don't know what on earth was going on there, but we look at the rear view, everyone making it through nice and cleanly. And there goes ABK around at turn 2. So very, very unfortunate there for the Alpine after looking so nice. We're currently watching Magnuson Cube sitting in 5th place at the moment. You just see the amount of spray that these drivers are going to have to deal with. So we'll have a look at Silver Arrow, as it looks like there's been a change of position there. Destiel and Formula Cringe swapping spots. Jump on board now with the Williams. You can hear the revs just hitting that limiter, but is unable to find the overspeed required to go for a pass. And the spray's back. How awesome. He's very close to the back of that gearbox, but still no real opportunity. Looks like Formula Cringe going defensive through the kinks of turns 17, 18, and 19. That's going to put him under pressure now. Look at that Silver Arrow jutting out to the left-hand side of the track. Having a drag race now is going to overtake the Red Bull. Looks like Ekem and Maxim Cube might be trying to do the same thing. But the Red Bull comes on the counter-attack. The inside line for turn number 1. And even hits the wall. And look at Magnuson Cube there right on the inside. It's going to be 3 wide, ladies and gentlemen, going into Turn number 2. Oh, this is going to end in tears, and it has. Silver Arrow has been put into the wall. Hopefully the front wing is still intact. But that was never going to end well. You can't fit 2 cars through there at the best of times, let alone 3. But Ekam is the one that has profited from that one, inheriting the 2nd place of the race. At turn 2, he's into the pit lane now for a fresh set of intermediate tyres and a new nose as well. So very, very unfortunate after what was a very, very nice opening few laps. And there's been another crash. This time it's Madison Cube and Ekam at turn 3. So I guess you just don't want to be in 2nd for this one, because if you're there too long, you're going to get killed. And that means that Addy has been promoted up into 2nd, but he has the Mercedes of Crush all over his gearbox. There might just about be a change for that runners-up spot to go back into the spray. We'll jump on board and you can just hear that Mercedes engine just working overtime. As Crush goes up the inside, Addy's still there on the outside, has to leave the room, and Crush gets that move done nice and cleanly. A very nice overtake from the Mercedes. And Crush moves himself up into 2nd place and has the opportunity now to chase down Destiel, whose teammate is coming under a lot of pressure. Is actually applying a lot of pressure, I should say, to Formula Cringe, having a drag race down into turn 3. We'll see if the Red Bull's able to hold on. Oh, they leave the room, but just about enough. A little bit of a tap going through turn 3. Another tap going through turn 4. This Red Bull's unhinged, and he's been pinched into the wall. And that's going to allow Combined YouTube to just fly on by. Say thank you very much. I'll take that 4th place from you both. And have fun getting untangled, untwisted from each other. Faster than it wants to. Destiel coming into the pit lane for his first and probably only scheduled stop, as we're just about to reach the halfway mark. With that 12 of 26, and a very nice battle happening ahead of the Haas between Ekam and Combined YouTuber. Ekam going for yet another move down into turn 2. Leaves enough room for 1 car this time. And Combined trying to hang it around the outside. It's a drag race now between the 2 Mercedes powered cars. We'll see who has the edge. It's Ekam that has the inside line, but Combined can go a little bit later on the brakes, but Ekam just squeezes him out, and that's going to allow Magnussen Cube to get alongside, as well as Formula Cringe, trying to follow the Haas through, as Combined is now pushed offline, so he's going to have to try and recover swiftly, and manages to do so. Slots himself right between the Haas and the Red Bull, stopping the Red Bull in its tracks. That's probably the last thing that our pole sitter wanted. He's trying to recover from the incidents earlier in this race. Formula Cringe diving up the inside. Oh, and he's put Combined in the wall. Oh my goodness me. He's not having it today, is he? This is the one between Ekam and Destiel. Oh, as a combat. Saw there briefly. You heard it. You heard the crunch, and he's out of this race, and that has given us a full safety car. So I think Destiel's made up enough time that he will inherit the lead of this race. Can do it. Had a very, very strong race in the rain last Sunday. So more than capable of making some inroads. But jumping on board with our race leader, looks like he's gone already. Bernd Meinlander is in the pit lane, but he hasn't caught Crush off guard whatsoever. Tries to break the toe as we go green on lap 18 of 26 at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And Destiel going very, very defensive into turn 1. The back of the field there is all things looking nice and clean, as Addy and Ekam trying to make some progress up towards Crush. Destiel flying away though, 6/10 the gap, and that's Ekam, who has made his way past Addy, and Addy losing 2 places now as Silver Arrow makes up some places as well up the inside, and Addy's gone down the escape road. Oh no. Jumping up towards the front of things, we have a potential overtake for the lead. Decio trying to break the slipstream yet again as Crush sets the fastest lap of the race. Decio going incredibly defensive, and that's going to open up the switchback for Crush. He takes the inside line now, going through turn 2, and he will take the lead of the race, but Decio close behind, followed by Ekim and Silver Arrow. And it's all going to be over Crush. 153.4, new fastest lap. 2 seconds faster than Ekim's previous lap as he's looking around the outside of turn 1. Decio defends it well, costing himself a little bit of time to Crush up in front, but he's desperate to hold on to this runners-up spot. And Ekim still has to be careful, because if he makes a single mistake, Silver Arrow, who's behind, we can see there in the wheel tracks as well, is going to be there to pounce. Decio goes defensive once more, picks out the braking point well, but just the grip difference between the two sets of intermediate tyres, and he's made it through. Ekim has made it up into second place, Decio down to third. But not as unfortunate as Decio's podium hopes. You can just see how close the Williams of Silver Arrow is now, and you'd think surely with this amount of battery that you can see on the dash, that he's going to have the speed to make the overtake. Has to use the slipstream as a bit of a slingshot. Both about even on the brakes. He's going to try and hang it around the outside, and there's just about enough room between the two cars, and Silver Arrow is through to take that final podium place away from the driver that was leading about 10 laps of this race. The car's actually having a bit of a battle as well going into turn 2, but we'll have a look here as Formula Cringe makes a move on the sister team, and Addy has to settle for 9th. What a shame. What a shame that he was 3rd at the restart, and now his best hope is probably either 8th or 9th place. Formula Cringe now actually using the slipstream to go to Fett. Is he going to go for a dive? He is going to go for a dive down into turn 3. Stops the car in time, and what a move. Going into turn 15. Tries to open up the corner a little bit more, get a better exit. You don't usually see dives into 16, but there's contact between the two, and there goes the Alpine spinning off. So I think that's a score of maybe 2 clean overtakes to about 7 unclean ones. So Formula Cringe has really not had a great race. Really not had a great race at all. And a Crush. What a race. Had a little bit of luck on his side. Did start from the back. Did reverse on that main straight to get himself the black flag to start this race from the back. He has indeed completed the last to first challenge with a little bit of luck on his side as well. But has shown tremendous pace on these intermediate tyres, and across the line he goes, and he will win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for ACRL season number 7. Ekim, his good mate, will take the runners-up spot, and Silver Arrow completes the podium for Williams. A very, very solid drive indeed. Destiel and Madison Q make it a Haas 4 and 5. While it's still a good result for the team, I'm sure they were both hoping for better after their very strong qualifying performances. Look at the provisional race results. Crush taking home the full 26 points with the fastest lap of a 1 minute 53.405, with Ekim and Silver Arrow rounding off the podium. The two Haases of Destiel and Madison Cube 4th and 5th. Formula Cringe, our pole sitter, in 6th, ABK 7th, Addy in 8th, Dado in 9th, and combined rounds out the top 10 with Sneaky in 11th, and unfortunately 3 drivers unable to finish, with Combat Rat, Dorshui, and Aziko in that order.